What's going on YouTube? It's Original Dobo, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Apple Watch Series 1. This is the follow-up to the original Apple Watch, and while it's not the Series 2 with all the bells and whistles, this watch still packs the best pound for pound bang for buck. Now, if you don't need a GPS and you don't intend on ever swimming with your Apple Watch, then this may be the device for you. Now, it still sports some of the same specs that we saw last year as far as the overall design, but the internals have been ramped up to bring the performance level on par. We have the Apple Watch Series 1, SP1 dual-core processor, splash-resistant, IPX7, Wi-Fi, heart rate sensor with the composite back, 450 nit OLED display, and 18 hours of battery life. So a lot of those specs were the same as they were previous year, but they did bump up the processor to help with the performance. So some more things that have stayed the same this year is the overall packaging and the outside design of this watch. Now, the chassis of the watch has not changed whatsoever on the Series 1, while the Series 2 is actually about a millimeter thicker. Now, I did go with the 42 millimeter silver version with the white band, and it looks really nice. I'm glad I decided to go with a 42 millimeter this year. Previous years I was cheap and just went with 38 millimeter. And ultimately that screen size does make the experience much better. Something interesting in the box this year is I didn't notice any wall charging wart, and the cord seems to be much shorter, which I'm actually really okay with. The cord is definitely much shorter than it was the previous year in the previous generation, so it's nice to see Apple shorten that up and created a little bit shorter charging cable. Now, inside the box you just have your standard paperwork and instructions. I didn't even see Apple stickers this go around. I could have missed them, but I didn't even look that hard for them. I was just concerned with taking a look at the watch and seeing how it feels on my wrist, getting it booted up. Now, while I didn't show the boot up process, the watch did seem to boot up much quicker than it did over last year. I didn't notice any long wait period, and it did set up pretty easy. Now, one of the nice things about the new dual-core processor is that increased performance, and it really shines here in watchOS 3. Applications are loading in the background, and you can see applications that are installed and booting for the first time load up almost instantaneously on the watch. Twitter, which has a lot of content, is loading absolutely no problems and hinder free. Another application that usually uses up a lot of data and it's really hard to work with is Feedly. I have tons of news feeds and RS feeds coming through, so it's nice to see that that application works as smooth as it does on the new watch. And again, the performance in watchOS 3 is absolutely phenomenal. Now, a really small thing but sort of trivial is the weather app. I'm glad to see the weather app is finally working the way it should. I can click on the weather and it loads my weather instantaneously, and it shows every single time, which is something that pissed me off tremendously about the first edition Apple Watch. So overall, I'm really impressed with this version of the Apple Watch. The Series 1 I think is probably going to be the best buy, and probably the best buy for most people. Now, I was able to pick this up today at Best Buy. I think I paid like $287 for it. I had a 10% off coupon, which was pretty awesome, which saved me a couple of bucks. And overall, I'm definitely liking this over the last year's version. Again, if you don't need GPS and you're not going to go swimming with your watch, there's really no reason for version 2. I think that with the dual-core processor, that this watch will be plenty enough for most people, especially those that are just really going to use it for overall notifications, switching music, and just really trying to respond to people if you're on the go or in the gym. Again, guys, that's going to do it for this quick first look at the Apple Watch Series 1. Again, if you like the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it doesn't cost you a thing to do so. Again, if you have any comments, good or bad, go ahead and leave me a line at the bottom and let's talk about it.